Leaving the theoretical and heading to the historical now, not too long after Sid went into parinirvana, there developed different interpretations and emphases in relationship to his teachings. There developed numerous schools, maybe up to 16. Over time, these different teachings coalesced into two major branches of Buddhism. Using aquatic imagery again, they became two major yanas or rafts. The Hinayana, lesser raft, and Mahayana, greater raft. The Hinayana would later be called the Theravada, School of the Elders, because the former name was a derogatory term given by the Mahayana. Taking the Theravada first, as it, as it is the older of the two, this raft has been more conservative and traditional. It has often been called Southern Buddhism because as this tradition left India, it took a southern trajectory via Sri Lanka and then eventually to countries in Southeast Asia. This raft has the Arhat ideal, which focuses more on the individual striving toward enlightenment. It has also tended to be Sangha-centered toward the traditional community of monks and nuns. You might recall the little skit where your professor pretended to be a monk from Thailand, going around the class as you gave me pens, representing food, which awarded you good karma. For the Mahayana raft, the history has been much more liberal and elaborate, the boat housing many more teachings and practices. It has been called Northern Buddhism because this branch took a northern trajectory via the Silk Route into northern countries in East Asia such as China, Mongolia, Japan, and Korea. This raft has been more laity-centered, offering many more beliefs and practices for the non-professionals, monks or nuns. Where the Theravada has had the Arhat ideal that focuses on the individual, the Mahayana has an ideal called the Bodhisattva. This ideal does also require the right effort, but with a significant difference. The individual chooses not to enter nirvana, but remains in a penultimate state, helping others. All the good karma that would come to such an individual would be reflected to others, like those suffering students upset about the loss of their pens. A significant thing about both branches is that for all their differences, they both are interpreting the life of Siddhartha. The Theravada can focus on the fact that Sid was a man who did all the necessary work alone to become awakened. The Mahayana can focus on the fact that Sid was tempted to go into parinirvana by Mara, but refused and stayed, teaching others for about 40 years. You might recall the two different versions of Mara's temptation, the one we acted out and the other shown in the little Buddha clip. The same founding figure with two different interpretations. Wait till we get to Jesus.